upon Ms. IC Bhatt and Pragya Singh for the invocation song.
शमहं कुञ्जरमुखं शङ्करसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सन्ततमहं दन्तिसुन्दरमुखं मन्तकान्तकसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजेऽहं 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 भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सेवितसुरेन्द्रमहनीय गुणशीलम् सेवितसुरेन्द्रमहनीय गुणशीलं जपतपसमाधिसुतवरदानुकूलं भावितसुरमुनिगणभक्तपरिपालं भयङ्कर विषङ्गमातङ्गकुलकालं श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजेऽहं 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 भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे कनककेयूरहारावळी कलितगम्भीरगौरगिरिशोभं सुशोभं कामादिभयभरितमूढमदकलिकलुषकण्ठितमखण्ड प्रलापम् सनकशुकनारद पतञ्जलि पराशर मतङ्ग मुनिसङ्गसलापम् सत्यपरमब्जनयन प्रमुद मुक्तिकर तत्त्वमसि नित्यनिगमादिस्वरूपं श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजेऽहं 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 भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे
Thank you, Aisri and Pragya, for that divine technician. I now request Ms. Deepa, Assistant Professor, to introduce the guest. Ma'am, please.
Very good morning to all. It is my profound privilege to introduce our honorable guest for today's event, Shri Yatish Chandra GH, IPS, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Crime, Bengaluru City. Born at Davangere in November 1983, Sir completed his schooling and college education from the Taradabalu Institution at Davangere. Sir is graduated as an Electronics and Communication Engineer from BIET Davangere, after which he worked in the corporate sector as a software engineer in prestigious MNCs like Motorola, Cognizant, HP, contributing in domains of web technology, robotics, mobile communication networks, automation, and so on. The inspiration to enter the police services took the leap when Shri Yatish Chandra Sir cleared UPSC in 2010. Serving as Assistant Superintendent of Police in Kannur in 2011, it's been a commendable journey traversing through the positions of Commandant, District Police Chief, Superintendent of Police Crime Branch CID, Deputy Commissioner of Police for Law and Order Kochi, Commissioner of Police Thrissur, followed by his services in Bengaluru from 2021 as Superintendent of Police Anti-Corruption Bureau. Sir is presently serving as Deputy Commissioner of Police, Crime 1, Bengaluru City. Honoring these positions, Shri Yatish Chandra Sir has successfully tackled the sand mafia in Kannur, Narat raid, raids on Hawala network. Sir has held responsible positions in the conducting of various elections, rescue and rehabilitation operations during the Kerala floods, handling the Shabarimala violence, and the uncertain times of the COVID pandemic, to name a few. Sir has played a key role in the welfare projects for citizen security, like Spider Patrolling System and Spider Robotic Red Button, which are meant to provide a highly planned vehicle support system to control crime in the district and seek police response immediately. installing of robotic terminals in public places for citizens to access the police personnel round the clock, and hotline connectivity with the control rooms. This array of his services have been applauded with the Medal for Detective Excellence for his exemplary investigation skills, state level award and recognition for the exemplary welfare service during rescue and rehabilitation during the Kerala floods, national level award by Security Watch India organization for the innovation in citizen security, besides numerous letters of appreciation. With this short introduction, bows and salute, we heartily welcome you once again, sir, to Vanijya Nagari 2.0. I remain much obliged for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request our chief guest, Shri Yatish Chandra GH, IPS officer, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Bengaluru City, to kindly address the gathering. So please.
Thank you, Kelly, for inviting me. And this is the first function in Bangalore. Maybe due to pandemic and other issues, I never visited any college in Bangalore, but anyway, visiting colleges was very common in Kerala. Uh, anyway, I met your principal sir and ma'am, the faculty members. I also got to know that it's Vanijya Nagari 2.0, which you are like planning, which you have planned, and a lot of stalls and other colleges are here to showcase their part. Anyway, it's a really good festival, the entrepreneurial festival. If you can look into the history of India post independence, maybe since like 1950 to around 1960s, it was just a time when Indians started to settle down, gathering some food and some kind of laws, creating the states, reorganizing the states, in fact, and then national security. Basic stuff was there. It's a very basic, we can't get it. Then later on, from 60s to 80s, it was a most like an era of bureaucracy. So bureaucracy prevailed on everyone. Many politicians were not educated, or literate. But I'm not going to use the word educated. I'm not, never literate. So usually bureaucracy, grow the economy, a lot of PSUs came into picture. Government used to invest in a lot of industries. Government took the lead of putting the capital, bringing in the manpower, bringing in the technology. Even though we were not open to the world, but like government was everything. Post 80s, lot of changes took place, and then from bureaucrats, the whole power to drive the country came in the hand of politicians. So many politicians came up, and then they started opening the economy for the whole world, and then India was opened. A lot of investments started coming in. So that was the era of politics. Then comes era of industrialization or industrial big houses like Tata's or someone who Infosys came in, and then Wipro had a lot of software parks came in. So even the Reliance grew in that time. So if you can see, more of big corporate houses took their foothold in India, and they started driving the economy. And then later on, we had this IT boom, and a lot of IT related things started happening. Now, if you see, it's era of entrepreneurs. For next 20 years, if you see last 2 years back, there was more than 100 unicorns, and everyone bringing in the funds from all over the world, and then innovating a lot of new things. With almost 1.3, 1.4 billion population, India itself is a powerhouse. And then we have everything now. I mean, we are self-sufficient. In fact, we are exporting our food. We are self-sufficient in a lot of aspects. We are generating our power, which is much needed for the industries. Food, power, shelter, roads, infrastructure, everything has come up in a very huge way in last decade. If you can see, earlier in 1960s, when country was struggling to have its foreign exchange as well as have its food given to all the citizens, people were dying of hunger. Now you can never see any person dying of hunger. Government itself is distributing grains free of cost. In fact, if you see the latest bills. So our priority entirely has changed from a country which was struggling to feed its own citizens to a country which has become the economic powerhouse of the world. So that's all is actually this the whole transition last 50 to 60 years. It is made possible just because of people like you or like many youngsters, many young entrepreneurs who have come up solving the country's problem as well as now we are solving the whole world's problem. So now next decade or two, India is going to lead the whole world in terms of economy, in terms of new innovations, and in terms of technology basically. So now Vanijya Nagari 2.0 is very apt thing to do, and you guys are just coming up with, you are going to be pushed into the field where like a lot of competition is going to welcome you, and then you're going to fight it out for yourself, your country, and then you're going to make a lot of contributions to the whole world. In fact. So being an entrepreneur is not a easy thing. Being a employee is very easy. You can just go get some job. In fact, if you find out there are huge jobs which are really vacant because finding the right talent for the right post has become a huge challenge. But like you yourself becoming an entrepreneur, creating the job for someone else, and then you growing and then representing the nation at the international forums is going to be one of the very going to be one of the challenging things for people out there who are looking to be entrepreneurs. That's what I just wanted to make as an opening speech, which is very apt that Vanijya Nagari. Yeah, you guys are coming up with the entrepreneurial festival. I would like think that I think that there is a lot of exchange of ideas and then exchange of thoughts which is happening among yourself, and then definitely when you guys are into the final leg of your college or even pre-final leg of your colleges, better to discuss all these things instead of discussing something which is not at all relevant to your own life. Like many people discuss about films, movies, we discuss about fashion. I'm not telling you should not do that. That's really needed. That's a part of life, but it's not life. It's just a small part of life. You have to discuss about ideas. You have to discuss about the next 6 months plan, 1 year plan, 5 years plan. You have to like formulate how you are going to raise the funds, how you are going to start earning revenue for your company, how you are going to manage, what kind of talent you need to bring in, where the talent is available. A lot of things are there so that we can start discussing. And definitely, networking is one of the biggest thing an entrepreneur should do. What do you think people do in Stanford? And what do you think the people do in MIT or in LSE, London School of Economics? They do this networking. You should have your own network of entrepreneurs where like exchange of ideas as well as rising funds, capital, and opening up to the niche markets can happen very easily with a very well networked person, and that's how actually an entrepreneur should be. He should be looking out there for niche markets through his own partners. Second thing is it's all teamwork. But what I have learned over the period of years, both working as a in corporate industry as well as in bureaucracy, it's all about teamwork. There is no successful story which is all alone. You can't be successful all alone. You need a perfect team. Even a successful sports person, maybe like in a tennis star or someone, even though we feel like he is the one who is doing, there's a lot more work which has already happened as a team behind him, and automatically that's how all the good things what his team has done. He's just out there showcasing the his talent along with the support of his team. So whatever you want to do, you first find out good team. Team is a basic thing, and you should all have right chemistry to strike with and right mentality to match with. So, and also the ideologies as well as your target should be almost similar so that you can form a good team. Because many of you are going to be law graduates. Even topmost lawyers run on teams. They don't fight alone. And we have seen many law firms because we do often interact with your fashion. So it's not at all a single thing. And many people are now running it in a very professional and in an entrepreneurial way, where everything is organized into verticals and horizontals, and that's how you get the best results out of it. So wherever you go, whatever you do, it's all about the teamwork, organizational skills, managerial skills, and administrative aspects, which is going to make any entrepreneur a successful one. So this is what exactly I wanted to tell. If I tell more, it would be a monologue. I just wanted to open the floor for some. I wish to take some few questions if you have, if you like to do so. Otherwise, I will go there.
Very good morning, sir. I had a question. What would your word of advice be to a person, a law student who is aspiring to give UPSC?
Yeah. So many law students do clear UPSC, and and we have seen a lot of my friends and my seniors and juniors who are law graduates. Definitely, UPSC is one of the good avenue for building your own future. First thing is obviously you should understand what UPSC is. Uh, it's, uh, it's very dicey and tricky until unless you yourself get it. We can't like tell you read this book and you'll just clear the exam. There is no ready-made formula for UPSC. You need to first start. I mean, you need to first study what you are studying as on date. Be the master in whatever you are doing. That means you can be master of something else when you read that. So if you ignore the present day studies and then always dream of something which is not in your hand, that's wrong. So whatever the graduation or post graduation people are doing, they should concentrate on that part. And all along with that, you should choose which subject you need to really target in UPSC. Basically, if you are a law student, you can look for the law itself, or if you think that's very tough, you can look for any humanities options. Definitely, you can look into the old question papers and syllabuses, which will give you a fair idea about what exactly you need to read. And being a voracious reader always helps in fact, and then getting a lot of general knowledge as well as current affairs is a basic thing in UPSC. Start reading anything and everything, whatever you can find, and start analyzing the things which you are like surrounded by. For example, I am talking to this mic, and we have JBL speakers. So how many people are actually observed that is the company JBL? And then once you get into that, you should always look how amplification works, because it's the thing which you are using on a day-to-day basis. So you should always try to understand like how it works, how amplification works, how the software travels, and what exactly the speakers are, what are these speakers and what are the other speakers available in the market, and what kind of technology which is used in. This is the very basic stuff, because anyway we are all surrounded by these kind of machines and technology. So better understand about that. And here there is an acoustic which has been made with all the cores here, and why do we make these acoustics? That also should come into your mind. Along with that, we are ACs running, and then I think they are copper, copper cable, the tube one, and you should also understand why tubes are used in ACs, and I think that's Lloyd and what kind of technology is used in that, as well as what its competitors, and if you can find out whether any factory runs, Lloyd runs any factory in India, is it an assembly plant or a complete manufacturing plant? If you can look like this, you are ready for this.
Good morning, sir. That was quite an insightful answer. Thank you. So, to begin with, my question would be what was one of your most adrenaline inducing or one of your most adventurous experiences as a person in the IPS so far?
Adrenaline is a momentary thing, It comes and goes, and then there's no one adrenaline thing which has happened, starting from the training days till now. A lot of things do happen. I can't actually single out a single incident, but definitely when you are facing a crowd of thousands, well armed and then very violent, and you look at your back, you have very few policemen left who are already, so that would make you little bit afraid of things. But whatever you are training for, that has taught to pump up some of adrenaline and rush into that and take care of the situation. Automatically, those kind of situations, many situations we have faced. I can't actually simply name out this or that. Thank you. You can ask some questions not based on me. It should be based on you and yourself. Yeah, please.
Good morning, sir. My question to you would be how, since you're working with law enforcement, how do you manage the stress and the pressure that you work with regard to your work? And at the same time, how do you manage to stay fit and healthy mentally as well as physically?
Very good question. It does. I mean, I don't want to take it as me. It's for everyone. Please. So, please. I mean, working in the law enforcement area as well as the district administration area is definitely stressful, and then it's full of ups and downs. And just 10 minutes back, I was discussing with your honorable principal sir that many things are there which are not under our control. So you can do, if you are a programmer, computer listens to you. Whatever you do, if it is logical, computer accepts and gives you the output. But society is not a computer, and enforcement is not a program. So nothing works as per your will and wish. And many things are like media, like, press, as well as politicians, like your own peers, colleagues, subordinates, the system, in fact, the law, and the general public. That general public, there are many varieties of groups uh, which are like all putting their own pressures for their own, the lobby groups, you can say. It's not so easy to manage the stress. Yes, I have been under a lot of stress many times. That's the part of job. And working as a software engineer for 5 years, I never had been that kind of stress for all 5 years, which I could see in first 5 months. So now stress has become a part of life. Definitely, stress affects the health. It has affected my health also. Yeah, I'm also a human being. So it affects and it affects sleep, it affects health, it affects your daily routine, it affects your family, your emotional stability, as well as your the whole personality itself. In the initial days, it used to affect a lot, but now when you start seeing the things often and again, you get used to it. But not that you become complacent. Automatically, you should be aware of it, and you should take care of certain things at right time, at right places. Definitely, experience also makes us learn. And staying fit and healthy, definitely it plays one of the major part in any profession, not only bureaucracy. So we often tend to forget while minting money, or like while making names, or while achieving certain things, and growing behind our passions. We forget how to sleep, how to eat, and how to even spend time with our family. We often try to like forget, and when the time has passed, if you look back, it's like already late. So better, like, we need to balance out our routine. Definitely, it's easier said than done. We need to balance out, but balancing comes with practice, and control of your emotions also comes with practice. Better to inculcate some sports, whichever you like, whatever, swimming, tennis, shuttle badminton, cricket, whatever you want. Find few good friends with whom you can spend time. When you cross mid age around 40, 45, you find friends are more valuable assets than $1 million in a bank account. So, and then automatically discussing, spending time with good friends who are not judgmental and who are really understand about you, finding someone in your life itself is a lucky thing to have. It's like a lottery. And then having a good family, automatically it's mutual. How good you are, your family is good with you the same way. And then it's just a combination of things to manage the stress and emotional problems. Definitely, each and every one has different levels of threshold to break down. Definitely, everyone will break down at some point in time. Better to use these accessories like your friends, family, your own activities, and your own way of spending time, which will make the tougher times soothe down, and automatically the time will pass, the bridge will come, you will cross, and then you are happy. So, thank you. Please.
Good morning, sir. So my question for you is, I'm Aditya. So my question for you is, in the introduction, ma'am told you were in the corporate sector for quite some time. So what inspired you to take civil services from the corporate sector to get into?
Yeah, please. It was not an inspiration, it was an accident. I never ever thought to come into bureaucracy till 2007, even though I cleared exam in 2010. I had no plans to come to bureaucracy, and I never knew what is SP and DC till 2007. That's a fact. So, being coming from a upper middle class family, where you are like pampered kid with all the comforts, so I never thought I would go through this kind of stressful life. I always wanted to fly to US, settle down there, work in some corporate company. By that time, we could have been some DC post or something, some good post, have a chill life with the family. So I started like preparing for my MBA after BTech, because like you work in BTech, I mean corporate technical company maybe for 2-3 years, then you try for an MBA, get admission into one of the good colleges. Again, what I was telling you, you have a good network, you get into some corporate high level ladder, and then you continue jumping from one from the other from MBA until you find very good comfortable position. That was actually my plan, but somehow like one of my friend made me look into this aspect, and then this got me in, and then yeah, that's all. Thank you. Please.
India as a country, sir, has many laws, rules, regulations, and procedures. So my question to you is, do the presence of so many laws and procedures sometimes inhibits you or acts as a barrier for you to fulfill your duties in the way you would want them to?
First of all, I want to thank this person who actually gave this kind of question. Definitely, it's not. It's the other way around. I should not implement how I want. I should implement how people want. How people want is what exactly the legislature passes. What is legislature? It's a representation of our own citizens. So automatically, we are at the pleasure of the citizens. So whatever the laws are there, those laws and procedures, even though they are complicated and they're very cumbersome, many times, which are much needed also, because they need to cover entire scenario. We ourselves should never question it. That's what whatever is the law, blindly try to be in the framework of the law. And then if we have to train ourselves to make sure that we fit into the law, not the law will fit as per our bureaucracy. Because bureaucrats are, we are anonymous, and then we need to blindly follow the law. We can't amend the laws, and we should not even think of amendment. So we work at the pleasure of the law. Law is supreme. Please.
Good morning, sir. My name is Mohit. Sir, my question is that there are many aspirants who prepare, like they complete syllabus, read question paper, and they prepare answer writing and all those things. So, what would be your advice from your personal experience that one can do to do better in UPSC? Because there are a lot of uncertainty that I am also doing these things and many other aspirants are doing these things. As only 1,000 aspirants get selected approx. So there are but I feel is that same thing many other aspirants would have done, which are not selected. So what would be your advice that a person should do, aspirant should do? And I have one more question, that one advice from your journey, that one mistake an aspirant shouldn't make throughout their journey. This is my question.
First, I will answer the second question. Because there are no one mistakes, there are many mistakes which many aspirants do. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I always think that each and every one of us are unique. Your fingerprints are unique, your iris scan is unique, your DNA is unique. You can never compare with any one of, even your siblings. If you, even though it's a monozygotic twin, understand that identical twins, they both are not comparable emotionally or even intellectually. Maybe physically they are a little bit comparable, but definitely not at the other level. So when we are born so unique, definitely the way of preparation, when as you said that you are going to prepare a lot of things, you can never be same as someone else. You will be unique. And second thing is what kind of things we need to prepare and how we need to prepare, that's left to you. Some people study for 1 hour and still they pass. Some people study for 8 hours and then they pass. Some people study for 10 hours and they never pass. So that's left to your way of preparation, and you have to find your own way. You have learned how to walk. You have learned how to ride a motorcycle. You learned how to sleep. You learned how to eat and all. This is how you have to find your own ways of excelling. Anyway, definitely you can learn from someone else's mistakes, and also you can learn from someone's best practices. Definitely all these things are there, but you have to take with a pinch of salt. If someone says that I used to study a whole night, you might sleep in the night and get up early in the morning and study. Someone says that he used to write the exam, make the notes by writing the points, and someone says that he used to make paragraphs. Someone says that he used to make some bullet points, something like that. So you have to find your own way, what is best suited for your brain, where you can, successfully take those memories and then bring it on your paper in a very effective and efficient manner to impress the exam. So there is no unique answer. You have to find your own ways. Thank you. I'm okay.
Yeah, so my last question.
Yeah.
I just have two quick rapid fire questions. First one being rifle or coding? Rifle or coding?
What?
Let's do the last one. It's a rapid fire question.
Coding.
And burger or chitrana? And one more. Do you believe in God? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. J. Mallikarjunaya, Principal, to kindly address the gathering. So please.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's program, Yatish Chandra, my dear colleagues, Madam Anita, Dr. Manoj, and DAS, and all other colleagues of DAS, and my dear student friends. At the outset, my hearty congratulations to Team Chanakya, headed by Jayan and other colleagues of mine and a lot of volunteers. Congratulations to you guys for having put up. And I must congratulate today's guest speaker. I was telling you, it was fantastic and we are all impressed. I'm sure you'll all join me in saying so. Yes. And coming to the relevance of today's program, I often think when a program of such a scale is organized, as a principal, as an educational administrator, I would be looking at how much fun you will have. I'll not be happy with only the fun you will have. How much educational value this program has, because I have to defend before people who are responsible, and I must pose myself like a responsible principal. That's where I was trying to figure out what educational goals this program. Lot of educational goals this program indeed has, is what the speaker himself was trying to mention. And a few of them, if I may recall, we were thinking. There was, again, I was doubly blessed before the guest was taken to this hall. Quick interaction was happening for a cup of tea, and a lot of very valuable things we were exchanging. And there we figured out this. Guest was agreeing with me that there is no job without difficulties, but we'll not call them difficulties, we'll call them challenges. Isn't it? But there is only a variety. Time could be spent. It is not spent actually, it is wasted during youth without understanding that we are wasting. An activity like this would make you understand how badly you waste your time and how easy it is to waste time. How difficult it is to spend time more meaningfully, and how much joy is there in spending time more meaningfully than wasting time. And you tend to weigh the fun in the second aspect is bigger than the fun you will have by wasting time. I'm sure this activity is intended to give that experience, I believe, and I appeal it should give such experience. We also understand, I often make this observation that during these days, 3 words have disappeared from a speech like this, which were continuously to be there when I was in: poverty, unemployment, and hunger. These words have disappeared from our talks from the dais these days. Meaning, there are employment opportunities for everybody who wants to get employed. As the speaker was mentioning, as this activity also intends to take you to the next level, it's time, I believe, to look forward to be the entrepreneur than the employed. I hope and wish the activity you are participating in will make you all to think about being the bosses than the employed ones. Entrepreneurial skills, I believe this activity should shape in you. I thought I will share this experience like any of you. Of course, speaker was also mentioning very aptly that this is the era of entrepreneurs. Youngsters are indeed coming forward to be the entrepreneurs and be the bosses of their own. On that note, this morning, like all of you, over a cup of tea, I also have a good or bad habit of going through Facebook while I sit and a cup of coffee. A very interesting post I did see this morning. My student, almost 3 years ago from this college, by name Udupa Krishna. He is a great entrepreneur. He was the first bencher, guys, and not the last bencher, by which I don't mean last benchers are not good. I'm only trying to say first benchers are assumed to be good and good too. And right? This guy, whom I know very fondly, and I did teach him too, he was the first bencher, he was a great singer, he was the NSS worker, he was the mooter, he was the topper in the class. And has the courage to go and start a Darshini kind of hotel. He has revealed recently the secret of tastiest coffee at his outlet. And he has shared that post and witnessed 2.5 lakh views. I am so proud of this boy, that this boy has become an entrepreneur worthy of being appreciated. So, again, this gives me confidence that I'm doing a good job as a responsible principal by hosting this test. And if I get that proud feeling, I'm sure it's not me, it's all of you who are responsible for that, and for being responsible for that and for the good claps, I must thank you. And you did understand. In fact, I was not looking at it from this dimension. I'm sorry if I'm trying to take each thread of today's speaker and trying to justify my program. I'm overwhelmed with the highly relevant things that have been spoken to you. That's why I may tend to repeat. Please bear with me. what connection entrepreneur and a lawyer has. I did not think about it. The today's patterns of lawyering, patterns of law firms, if you look at it, it was a learning experience for me to understand that in order to be a good law firm, you must be the entrepreneur. And it gets so well connected to what we are doing today. You're all on the right path, and you must continue to do that. Well, before I end my talk, I would like to chew few of the very important aspects that the speaker has spoken. Like, I'm sure all of you will join me. Inquisitorial mind is so important. We shall not allow the child in us to die ever. It is to be vigilant person. In order to be successful in whatever that you take, especially we say critical thinking and inquisitorial mind is the incumbent for lawyers. We say so, but it is in fact important for everybody. And the lively, simple examples that the speaker has taken and did try to impress upon you about how important is the inquisitorial mind in order to be success when you take UPSC or whatever that you take. Please do keep this word. I'm only trying to flag the points for your benefit. Don't forget these points. Flag them well and try to understand the importance of them and try to uh, imbibe these things as your personality. And there was a word about stress. I often heard, though informally, when I was speaking to the speaker, we were agreeing and disagreeing about the stress to be taken, stress why to be taken, stress to be taken or not, etc. From the kind of work that he is doing, from the kind of experiences that he has brought, at least I have understood that he is not afraid of stress and he is not away from the stressful life. But what I see is, it is not the stress that we are here to avoid. We are here to take the stress and manage it well. So I would advise, don't ever worry, don't ever be scared, don't ever avoid the stress. Life is full of stress. But that stress got to be managed is what we got to understand from today's speech. Please do commit today to invite stress and then to manage it. I have all the conviction in saying this. And the speaker did talk about truth without calling it truth. He spoke about jurisprudence without giving a name to it. He spoke about philosophy without calling it so. He spoke about practical aspects without calling them life's experiences. And last but not the least, the principle on which this institution stands was also reiterated by today's speaker, that there are no shortcuts. There is no substitute for hard work. It was a fantastic session to participate in. But of course, I personally feel a sense of dissatisfaction that we could not continue this session for a longer time. I request Mr. Yatish Chandra to be with us more and more times and inspire my children continuously. And I did forget in the beginning, my special gratitude goes to him for bestowing on us the privilege to be the first institution in Bangalore to host it. He has visited over 500 institutions in Kerala during his service. Having taken over new responsibility in Bangalore, it was the first institution. I thank you profusely and I request you to compensate us being with us on occasions in future. I know, however, great efforts that I make from here to keep you impressed and keep you hooked onto your chairs, but there are your friends with the stalls ready, and maybe all of you may not be ready to do the shopping, but all of you are ready to do the window shopping. I will not stand between your shopping and my speech anymore, but do visit the shops and do real shopping too. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you, sir. I now request the Principal, Dr. J.M. Mallikarjunaya, to present a memento to our Chief Guest as a token of gratitude. So please. I request Dr. Anita M.J., Vice Principal, to I now request Dr. Manoj Kumar D. Hiremat, IQAC Coordinator, to present a bouquet to our Vice Principal. I now request Dr. Anita N.J., Vice Principal, to present a sapling to our Principal. I now request Dr. Vishnu Prasad R., Associate Professor of Law, to present a bouquet to Manoj. I would now like to call upon Mr. Sri Ranga to render the vote of thanks.
So good morning to everyone, respected dignitaries on the stage, on the dais, and off the dais, invitees, dear students. I'm feeling honored to get this opportunity to present the vote of thanks. So, quote, no duty is more urgent than that of returning the thanks, James Allen. So Henry Ford, quote, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is a success. So it is indeed this mantra of working together that has brought us where we are today. So on this day, my words are not enough to express our gratitude on behalf of the KLE Society's Law College, Bangalore. We would like to thank our chief guest, Sri Yatish Chandra sir, who graced us with the presence and his thought, initiating and provoking address. Thank you, sir. The successful culminations of this program owes much to the guidance and support of our beloved principal, Dr. J.M. Mallikarjunaya, sir. Thank you, sir. And our beloved Vice Principal, Dr. Anita M.J. ma'am. Thank you. IQAC Coordinator, Sir Dr. Manoj Kumar V. Hiremat, sir. And our beloved Chief Coordinator of Chanakya, Mr. Jayant Kashyap, sir. And we thank them all for the same. We will ever remain grateful to you all, and we thank you for being with us today. Heartfelt thanks goes to all the faculty members of the KLE Society's Law College, Bengaluru, who are always stands by us, guide us, lead us, and motivate us. I would also like to thank all the non-teaching staffs for their support. An event of this dimensions cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of motivated and dedicated students committee and volunteers. We cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they are expressing to take on the completions of the task beyond their comfort zone. So I would also like to thank the event sponsors. So Namma Bescom, co-presented by Butt and Butt Tutorials, IMS India, Samyama Fitness, Samyama Trust, Tusker States, Union Bank of India. Thank you. So, last but not the least, we thank all the participating students for their overwhelming participation in the event. Thank you all once again. I'm signing off. Sri Lanka.